Being the car-mad country that we are, we're surrounded by all kinds of vehicles. Supercars to make you feel like a driving god, luxury sedans to make you feel like a VIP, and uber-safe family sedans to deliver the safest drive possible. But amongst all of that, it's easy to forget that there are cars that are there simply to do a job. This is one of them, Mitsubishi's Triton with diesel power, of course. Up till recently, the Triton was offered with double and club cabs only, but the new single cab now completes the range. It's taken them surprisingly long to introduce the model, considering single cab market share is around 30%. It's available with different engine and interior options, but all the versions are 4x2 rear-wheel drives with 5-speed manual gearboxes. From the moment you see it, you realize that this is an out-and-out workhorse. Even the optional running boards look more business-like than usual. As for the rest, it's all steel wheels and rubberized load box and no-nonsense attitude. This car's not interested in winning any beauty contests, which is a good thing, because even if it wanted to, it wouldn't. The Triton has been around for a while now, and for me, this isn't one of those cars with a look that grows on you. I just don't get its curves and angles that make it look a little softer than it should, especially this most utilitarian version. I get that the Triton started out as a lifestyle vehicle, so it had to have some cosmetic appeal, but even that fact doesn't do much to convince me that this bucky is anything but odd-looking. The interior is the most surprising thing about the Triton, not because it's incredibly well spec'd, but because the two-tone finish gives it a more classy look than you'd expect. As for the spec, well, you get electric windows and aircon, but there's no remote central locking and no electric mirrors. There is an aftermarket radio with a USB connection, and it's got a clip-off face for a reason. The Triton doesn't come with an alarm system. A very surprising oversight in a country like ours. It is a comfortable setup though, or at least as comfortable as one could expect, even though the interior does nothing to detract from the Triton's built-for-work status. Powering the Triton single cab is a 2.5-litre turbo diesel with 100 kilowatts and 314 newton meters. Now, even though this car is fitted with ABS and EBD, I wouldn't suggest you chase down its 167 km/h top speed. The other engine option in the range is a 2.4-litre 97 kilowatt petrol. Unlike the interior, there's nothing surprising about this engine. It delivers decent low-down torque and a soundtrack to match. Diesel single cab models are fitted with a rear diff lock for a bit more ability when the going gets tough. Besides the safety equipment I've just mentioned, the Triton is also fitted with dual front airbags. There are two very obvious things when you get going in this Triton. The first is that it's not interested in being anything but a bucky. It feels like a bucky, it sounds like a bucky, and all your interactions have that reassuring mechanical solidity about them. The second thing is that it has the slowest steering in the world. And I mean unbelievably slow. The kind of slow that, even after some time in the Triton, you're still not used to. Going into corners requires a bit of concentration, purely because you have to dial in what feels like 5 times as much input as you're used to. No one buys one of these cars in the hope of finding a slice of motoring nirvana, and if you want to try that with this car, I suggest you move on. It'll carry a load of up to a ton, it'll tow up to 1,500 kilograms. It is a straight up and down tool. And I don't mean like a fancy tool like a laser level or a digital tape measure. It's more like a spanner or a screwdriver. It's obvious and simple and easy to use. There's something to be said about a car that does what it's supposed to do, without trying to fill a whole bunch of roles on the side, and I can appreciate that about the Triton. Does that mean I like it? Sure, there's not a lot to not like in this context. The Mitsubishi Triton single cab was built to do one thing, and that's be a workhorse. For 240,000 Rand, you could also opt for a similarly spec'd Toyota Hilux or a VW Amarok. So while this car isn't completely unpleasant to drive, and it does have good capabilities, it's also got incredibly strong competition.
The single-cab Triton is a workhorse in every way, so it's no surprise that it makes do with diesel power. The 2.5-litre turbo offers decent low-down grunt. The interior of our GLX test car has some added comforts, although things are still on the utilitarian side. The only real downside to the Triton is its very slow steering.